Several months ago, I did a video about this RFID writer, and I specifically said don't buy it. The reason being that if you try to program your Kyber crystal or any other RFID tag with this thing will put a password on it, and you don't know what the password is. It doesn't tell you. It doesn't come with instructions telling you what the password is, which means that if you want to change the number on your Kyber crystal, you can only use this device because it has its built-in password. And only this device. You can't use any other devices. And I demonstrated that by changing the ID on this Kyber crystal, locking it in so I could only use this device to change the ID on this Kyber crystal, which was kind of a bummer. Well, last week I got motivated to try and finally figure out what the password was. And the way I did that is I took this device apart and I took an oscilloscope and attached it to one of the pins that controls the antenna, the low frequency antenna on this device. And with the oscilloscope, I was able to capture what this device was trying to send out to the crystal whenever it issues a write command. And looking at the data sheets for a couple of different types of RFID tags and the type of what the communication protocol is, I was able to figure out through what I saw on the oscilloscope the command that was being sent to the RFID tag in the Kyber crystal to set its password. There are the passwords. It's actually setting two different passwords. If your RFID tag is an EM4305, which is what is inside Kyber crystals, this is the password. It's a hexadecimal password. That is the password that this device is setting. I don't know if it's unique to each device. I suspect it isn't. So if anybody else has one of these ZX copies, or I think they sometimes get sold as iCopy 3s, this password might help you unlock any RFID tags that you've written to with this device. If you have a T55xx, so like a 5557 RFID tag, it's setting this as its password. This password does not affect Kyber crystals because Kyber crystals do not have that type of RFID tag. They have an EM4305. But in the process of getting the password for the EM4305, I also found the password for this as well. So now there are two passwords that I have found being used by this device. And with these passwords, you can use a Proxmark 3 to unlock it. So now this crystal is unlocked once again, and I can set it to whatever I want using any other RFID writer that I want to use. I did try to search online for these numbers to see if maybe they existed somewhere else. Did somebody already document this? And I found a few posts on forums dedicated to RFID stuff that this password was being used by a couple of Chinese RFID writers, which is what this is. So I suspect that this and this are not unique to this device. I think these are passwords that are hard-coded to the firmware that's used in this ZX copy. So hopefully if anybody else out there has a ZX copy and a ZX copy 3, I should say, hopefully, yes, ZX copy 3. Hopefully these passwords will help you get back access to your RFID tags.